إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا أما بعد. I would like to welcome all of you once again, and inshallah ta'ala we will continue studying together still from al-Mulakhas al-Fiqhi of our noble Shaykh al-Allama al-Dr. Salih bin Fawzan al-Fawzan حفظه الله تعالى وغفر له ولوالديه وللمسلمين والمسلمات آمين. باب في أنكحة الكفار. We're going to learn tonight inshallah ta'ala rulings and regulations pertaining to the marriage of the non-Muslims. What Islam say about the nikah and the ankiha and the marriages that take place between non-Muslims, and if they became Muslim, does Islam acknowledge their marriages before their Islam? If one of them accepts Islam, what the other one should do and the like. Okay? نعم. قال الشيخ صالح حفظه الله: المراد بالكفار أهل الكتاب وغيرهم كالمجوس والوثنيين. والمراد من هذا الباب ما يقرون عليه من أنكحتهم لو أسلموا أو ترافعوا إلينا حال كفرهم. So what is intended by kuffar here, the disbelievers, he refers to the Christian and the Jews, the people of the book, and other than them, such as the Magian and the Wathaniyin, the idol worshippers. And what is intended here in this chapter, he says, the rulings on marriages of such disbelievers, if they convert to Islam, if they accept Islam, or seek the judgment of the Islamic judiciary concerning marital cases while they are still disbelievers. So here is important to know this point. First of all, this chapter is about the marriages not of the Muslims. We already learned that, alhamdulillah. But now, non-Muslims, how Islam look at their marriages. Likewise, if they became Muslim, okay? What is the rulings on their marriages before Islam? And what if they come to the Muslim? They come to the Muslim judge. Two non-Muslims, they married according to their law, according to what their belief, but they come to a Muslim judge. How that Muslim judge between them? No. قال الشيخ: فنكاح الكفار حكمه حكم نكاح المسلمين في الصحة ووقوع الطلاق والظهار والإيلاء ووجوب النفقة والقسم أو القسم يعني بين النساء. He says the rulings on the marriages of the disbelievers are the same as those on the marriages of Muslims with respect to their validity, the divorce, and the dhihar, and the ila, the alimony that the man give to the woman, the nafaqa, and the nights one spend with one's wives. Dhihar here and the ila. The dhihar is the saying of a husband to his wife when he wants to abstain from her or having intercourse with her. He will say to her, "You are to me like the back of my mother," meaning he make her unlawful for him to approach her and to have intercourse with her. And that was a type of divorce practiced by the Arabs in the pre-Islamic period of ignorance, the Jahiliyyah. So a man should not say to his wife these things. "You're like the back of my mother," and the like. As for the ila, is the potent husband's oath not to have intercourse with his wife for a certain period. He will take an oath that he's not going to touch her or have anything to do with her as related to sexual intercourse for a month, 2 months, more or less. أي that's what is إيلاء mean. قال الشيخ صالح حفظه الله ويحرم عليهم من النساء ما يحرم على المسلمين فقد جاء في القرآن الكريم إضافة المرأة إلى الكافر في قوله تعالى في سورة المسد وامرأته حمالة الحطب وكذلك في سورة القصص وقالت امرأة فرعون فأضاف المرأة إلى الكافر والإضافة تقتضي زوجية صحيحة. Likewise, Shaykh Salih al-Fawzan says, Hafidahullah, the woman of a disbelieving man is prohibited to marry are the same. The women, a disbelieving man that it is prohibited for him to marry. You remember before, we learn as Muslims there are women that is not permissible for a man to marry. Haram, forbidden, like his mothers, his aunts, his grandmothers, daughters, nieces, sisters from suckling, the mothers of their wives, their stepdaughters that they have consummated the marriage with their mothers and the like. Okay? So likewise he says, the women a disbelieving man is prohibited to marry are the same as those prohibited for a Muslim man to marry, such as the mother, the sister, etc. This is because the disbelieving married women are referred to as wives in the Quran, as their wives. And he mentioned 2 ayahs, one in Surah al-Masad and one in Surah al-Qasas. In Surah al-Masad, and his wife as well, the carrier of firewood. تبت يدا أبي لهب وتب ما أغنى عنه ماله وما كسب سيصلى نارا ذات لهب وامرأته. Likewise, she will get the same punishment, but he says, and his wife. Likewise, in the Surah Al-Qasas, verse 9, and the wife of the Pharaoh said, when she said about Musa alayhi salam, the baby that when his mother put him on a basket and put him in a river, al-Yam, and then Allah, alhamdulillah, that he ended up at the hand of the wife of the Pharaoh. She said, a beautiful baby, qurratu ayni lak, he be like a comfort of the eye for us, let's take him as a baby and the like. And you know the story of Musa alayhi salam is mentioned in the Quran. Now, but here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, and the wife of the Pharaoh, he was not a Muslim. Rather, this man, he claimed that he is God himself. He said to the people, Ana rabbukum al-a'la, I am your Lord, the Most High. Nas'alullah as-salam wal-afiyah. So Shaykh says, so therefore, referring to those disbelieving women as wives in the Quran indicates the validity of their marriage. That those marriages are valid. قال شيخ الإسلام ابن تيمية رحمه الله قال شيخ الإسلام ابن تيمية رحمه الله فالصواب أن أنكحتهم المحرمة في الإسلام حرام مطلقا إذا لم يسلموا عوقبوا عليها وإذا أسلموا عفى لهم عنها أو عفي لهم عنها لعدم اعتقادهم تحريمها. وأما الصحة والفساد فالصواب أنها صحيحة من وجه فاسدة من وجه. فإن أريد بالصحة إباحة التصرف فإنما يباح لهم بشرط الإسلام، وإن أريد نفوذه وترتب أحكام الزوجية عليه من حصول الحل به للمطلق 3 ووقوع الطلاق فيه وثبوت الإحصان به فصحيح. انتهى من الاختيارات الفقهية. Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah, he says, the sound opinion is that the marriages of disbelievers which are viewed prohibited in Islam are absolutely prohibited in any other religion. If they do not accept Islam, they will be punished for them in the hereafter, for those marriages and the like. But if they become Muslims, they will be pardoned for them, as they have been unaware of the prohibition of such marriages. As for the validity or invalidity of such marriages, they are viewed valid from one perspective and invalid from another. If what is meant by validity is the lawfulness of taking full responsibility as a couple, meaning a husband and wife, and fulfilling the marriage contract, then the validity of their marriage in this case is dependent on its consummation according to the Islamic regulations. However, if what is meant by validity is the enforceability of the rulings pertaining to marriage, such as the rescindment of the marriage contract due to threefold irrevocable divorce, the effectiveness of divorce, and the establishment of marriage and the resultant chastity, then the marriage is deemed valid. So of course there is some details in here. نعم. قال الشيخ حفظه الله: ومن أحكام أنكحة الكفار أنهم يقرون على فاسدها بشرطين. Then the Shaykh mentioned among the rulings on the disbelievers' marriages that their invalid marriages are to be considered on two conditions. Naam. So he's now going to start talking about some rulings and regulation as related to the marriages of the non-Muslim, the disbelievers. So when the Islam accept their marriages, even though in Islam they are not valid, they are fasid, he said with two conditions. الشرط الأول إذا اعتقدوا صحتها في شرعهم وما لا يعتقدون حله لا يقرون عليه لأنه ليس من دينهم. So now the Shaykh explained when, yet the way they've done it is wrong according to Islam. This is not the proper way in Islam. But still Islam honor and accept those contracts with two conditions. The first condition, he said their invalid marriages are to be considered by Muslims if they, meaning the disbelievers, believe them to be valid in their creed. If that's what their belief, this is what they believe a marriage is supposed to be in their creed. Then he says whatever marriages they do not deem valid are not to be considered, as they are not admitted in their religion. Okay? So if they go to the church or whatever, they go to synagogue or whatever, and they do it according to their belief, and that's what they believe to be done the right way, then Islam says okay. But if they're going to do it in another way, like two guys or whatever, they're going to go and do it, a man and a woman do it their way, not according to their belief, that's not accepted. طيب. الشرط الثاني ألا يترافعوا إلينا فإن ترافعوا لم نقرهم عليه لقوله تعالى في سورة المائدة وأن يحكم بينهم بما أنزل الله. The second condition, that their invalid marriage in our religion, it's invalid. It doesn't fulfill the conditions of Islam, but still it is to be considered and acknowledged as long as they do not seek the judgment of the Islamic judiciary in this concern. They don't come to the Muslim judge and say we want to get married according to their law. This doesn't happen like that. He says if they do, then the Muslims are not to concede such marriages, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and judge, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, between them by what Allah has revealed. So this is clear, right? This is clear. So even though the marriage doesn't fulfill the conditions in Islam, the marriage of the disbelievers, the non-Muslims, but Islam will accept it with two conditions. Number one, that the way they get married is according to their belief, whatever they believe, Judaism, Christianity, this and that. And number two, they shouldn't come to the Muslim. They don't come to a Muslim judge and says, or an imam of a place and say, listen, they are non-Muslims, well, we want you to do the marriage, the nikah, but on our terms. He will say, no, we're Muslims. You want to get married, you want to do it on our terms. In a Muslim way, Islamic way, not your way. Okay? But if they've done it in their church, and later on they come and they say, look, we're married, then the Islam says it's okay, as long as it's done according to their belief, and they didn't come to the Muslims to get married. Now, قال الشيخ صالح حفظه الله فإذا اعتقدوا صحة نكاحهم في شرعهم ولم يترافعوا إلينا لم نتعرض لهم بدليل أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أخذ الجزية من مجوس هجر كما في صحيح البخاري من حديث عبد الرحمن بن عوف ولم يعترض عليهم في أنكحتهم مع علمه أنهم يستبيحون محارمهم. الله أكبر. نسأل الله السلامة والعافية. مع علمه أنهم يستبيحون محارمهم وأسلم خلق كثير في زمن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فأقرهم على أنكحتهم ولم يكشف عن كيفيتها. So the Shaykh says, if the disbelievers believe in the validity of their marriages according to their creed and do not seek the Islamic judgment, we are not to disapprove of them. We are not. This is the beauty of Islam. We are not to disapprove of them. To illustrate this point more, become clear, the Prophet ﷺ took jizya from the Majus, the Magian of Hajar, and did not object to their marriages. Although the Prophet ﷺ knew that they allowed marrying their legally unmarriageable kin. In addition, many people accepted Islam in the lifetime of the Prophet ﷺ, and he considered their marriages without pointing out the way they were consummated or the way they took place. Okay? قال وإن أتونا قبل عقد نكاحهم عقدناه على حكم ديننا بإيجاب وقبول وولي وشاهدي عدل منا. الله أكبر. قال تعالى وإن حكمت فاحكم بينهم بالقسط. Surah al-Ma'idah. It says, however, now, if a man and a woman from non-Muslims come to the Muslims seeking their judgment before the marriage, they want to get married. So the Muslims are to conclude it in accordance with the religion of Islam. You see, now non-Muslims will come. Maybe they live in a Muslim land, for instance, and they want to get married. They want to get a paper. Okay, they want to get a marriage contract and valid shahada. So if they come, non-Muslims, a man and a woman, of course, it's not permissible in our religion to marry two men, or two women. And who knows, they may bring a horse and a'udhu billah next. So we ask Allah to protect us. Who knows? Who knows, next year or 10 years they might she want to marry I don't know who. A pet or Allah. This is the kufr. Whatever they think it's okay, they want to do it. Nas'al Allah as-salam al-afiyah. We ask Allah to protect us from that evil. No, it said if a man and a woman, non-Muslims, they come to the Muslim judge or Muslim department who are taking care of the marriage, they want to get married, then now how the marriage is to be conducted, he says, in accordance with the religion of Islam. Meaning, there must be the groom's wali. the groom's spoken proposal that he accepts. He says, قَبِلْتُ الزَّوَاجَ بِهَذِهِ الْمَرْأَةِ, I accept to marry this woman. The bride's consent and guardian, her too, she accepts to marry this particular man, and she has to have a wali, a guardian, and two equitable Muslim witnesses, not from them. It says, minna, aina. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah al-Ma'idah, وَإِنْ حَكَمْتَ فَحْكُمْ بَيْنَهُمْ بِالْقِسْطِ. And if you judge between them with justice. Surah al-Ma'idah verse 42. قال الشيخ الفوزان حفظه الله: أما إن أتونا بعد عقد النكاح فيما بينهم فإننا لا نتعرض لكيفية صدوره. He said, but, however, if the non-Muslims, they came to us for whatever reason, after they have already been married, according to their religion and belief, we are not, meaning the Muslims, to object to the manner of how the marriage took place. Here they keep saying consummation. I don't know if this is the proper translation. Allahu A'lam. So, Allahu A'lam, the proper translation is that we do not object to how they get married, okay, and how the marriage take place. قال وكذلك إذا أسلم الزوجان على نكاح فإننا لا نتعرض لكيفية صدوره وتوفر شروطه فيما سبق، لكننا ننظر فيه وقت الترافع أو وقت إسلامهم، فإن كانت الزوجة تباح في هذا الوقت لعدم الموانع الشرعية أقر على نكاحهما، لأن ابتداء النكاح حينئذ لا مانع منه، فلا مانع من استدامته. وإن كانت الزوجة في هذا الوقت الذي ترافع أو أسلم فيه لا يباح ابتداء العقد له عليها فرق بينهما، لأن منع ابتداء العقد يمنع من استدامته، كمن تزوج أمه والعياذ بالله أو أخته أو بنته، نسأل الله السلامة والعافية. The Shaykh says, similarly, if the two disbelieving spouses accept Islam, they become Muslim, alhamdulillah. Let's say two Christian or two whatever, Buddhist or whatever, Wathaniyin, they worship idols and the like. Both of them, alhamdulillah, Allah guide them to al-Islam and they became Muslim. But they were married already according to their belief. He says the Muslims are not to object the way their marriage took place, or whether the conditions for its validity were there or not. Rather, however, if such a couple comes seeking the Islamic judgment regarding their marriage, Muslims are to consider that matter at the time when they seek the Islamic judgment or the time of their conversion to Islam. Okay, when they come and ask, for example, they are not Muslim yet, but they come and ask about their marriage. Or they became Muslim and they said that they are already married now, so what we should do? Then the person who talking to them should know these things. He says, now, what you looking for? If they says, look, two Christians, they came and said they married, man and a woman, of course. Because two men come and say, hey, we accept in Islam, we're man. We're like, hey, in Islam, we don't. Marriage is between a man and a woman. Okay? So now, if one man and a woman, they married, they come, and they become Muslim, what should we look is the wife. If the wife then is among the women lawful for her husband to marry as a Muslim without any legal barrier, the marriage is to be approved of. Since there has been no legal barrier from the beginning, and there is nothing to prevent maintaining their marriage after their conversion to Islam, so they accept Islam. Yet, if the wife is originally prohibited for the man to marry at the time when they seek the Islamic judgment, or at the time of when they become Muslims and accept Islam, they are to be separated. Okay? Like, for example, a man marry his niece, وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ, or his aunt. Think it's okay to them because of some law, whatever. And Islam says, no, this is not right. Cannot marry. And this is because the invalidity of their marriage contract from the beginning causes the prohibition of its being continued. Okay? So this is things that the Imam of the Masjid should know. Some people, they don't know these things. If somebody comes, they want a counseling or something, or they want to know, just tell them, who are you? Who you married? Who is this woman to you? Is she from your family? She's, oh yeah, my niece. A'udhu billah, can't marry your niece. Can't do that. They tell them this is not permissible. And you should be separated. Okay? And the like. قال وإن كان المهر الذي سمي لها في حال الكفر صحيحا أخذته لأنه وجب بالعقد ولا مانع من استيفائها له وإن كان فاسدا كالخمر والخنزير فإن كانت قبضته فقد استقر وليس لها غيره لأنها قبضته بحكم الشرك فبرئت ذمة من هو عليه منه ولأن في التعرض له مشقة وتنفير عن الإسلام فيعفى عنه كما عفي عن غيره من الأعمال الكفرية وإن لم تكن قد قبضت المهر الفاسد فإنه يفرض لها مهر المثل وإن كانت قد قبضت بعد المهر الفاسد ولم تقبض بقيته فإنه يجب لها قسط الباقي من مهر المثل وإن لم يسمي لها مهرا أصلا فإنه يفرض لها مهر المثل لخلو النكاح من تسمية المهر. Now the Shaykh is going to mention about the dowry. Okay, about the dowry. As for the dowry specified for the wife before their conversion to Islam, before they accept Islam, if it is something lawful, she can have it, for it is her due right according to the marriage contract, and there is no legal reason preventing its being given to her. However, if the dowry is something corrupt, unlawful, haram, he gave her a swine, like a pork, or a box of wine. Alright? He gave her a swine or a box of wine or whatever, which these two items are haram. There will be two rulings now. The first one, if the wife has already received it as her dowry and used it, is gone, is used, then it is deemed fulfilled. She is not entitled to get something instead, as she has received it according to their previous creed, shirk. Okay? Therefore, the obligation of the dowry is deemed fulfilled on the part of the husband. Moreover, if Muslims raise their objection on such matters, it will cause difficulty, the Shaykh says, and disincline people to accept Islam. Therefore, such matters are pardoned due to the married couple's conversion to Islam, just like all other acts disbelievers used to practice before their conversion to Islam. The second matter to look at is if the wife has not got such unlawful dowry then. So therefore, a proper lawful dowry like that given to ones like her is to be specified for her. She's in the same category of certain women, and that's what the dowry of these women in this category they get, then that's what she get. Okay? However, if she has already received part of the unlawful dowry, let's say he said to her, he's going to give her like a box of wine, but he gave her only half. She didn't receive the other half. So what should do now, he says, the other part is to be estimated and given to her according to the proper lawful dowry, like that given to ones like her. So they don't say, okay, she already, when she was a kafira, upon shirk, she already got like half of the box. But now, They become Muslim, and she's like, wow, Imam, judge, this man still have to give me half of the dowry. What was it? Another 5 bottles of Beaujolais or whatever it is. You know that? I don't know neither. All right. Whatever, this is something, okay, a wine. Then the Muslim judge will say, you know what? Whatever you took, those 5 first bottles, we're not going to talk about those because you took them in a time of kufr and shirk. Really? Yes, this is our religion, alhamdulillah. We're not even going to deal with that. Now we're going to give you something better. Okay? How old are you? Oh, she's 25. What is your level of this? Where you this, that? We're going to see the women your level in this area. What is the dowry they get? They get $10,000, for example, right? Huh? They get $10,000. Then you get in half. Since you already get half, now we're going to give you $5,000. Allahu Akbar. Instead of 5 old E or something like that. Alright? No. Allahu Akbar. Similarly, if her dowry has not been specified before converting to Islam, then she is to receive a proper lawful dowry like that given to ones like her, as it is invalid not to specify a dowry in the marriage contract. Okay? So if she married this man and they weren't Muslims, no dowry was given to her, now they become Muslim, yes, the marriage will be approved of as long as the person who's going to approve it, he knows these things, these details, and then if there is no dowry, then a dowry will be given to her. Okay? According to what is given to those women in her category like her. Okay? قال الشيخ حفظه الله وإذا أسلم الزوجان معا بأن تلفظ بالإسلام دفعة واحدة فإنهما يبقيان على نكاحهما لأنه لم يوجد منهما اختلاف دين. If 2 spouses, man and a woman, of course, convert to Islam at the same time, their marriage is to be maintained, as there is no religious distinction between them. وإن أسلم زوج كتابية. Now it's details now. If both of them become Muslims, alhamdulillah, and they were married before, alhamdulillah, the marriage is honored. They continue to be as husband and wife. Okay, we don't tell them, no, you're going to marry again. لا. Now, إذا أسلم وإن أسلم زوج كتابية ولم تسلم هي بقيا على نكاحهما لأن للمسلم أن يتزوج الكتابية ابتداء فاستدامته لنكاحها من باب أولى. Now, if a husband of a Christian or a Jewish woman convert to Islam, so here is a man, he himself was a Christian or was a Jew, and he was married to a Christian woman or a Christian wife or a Jew woman. That's his wife. He's the one who became Muslim. She didn't. And this happens sometimes. He accepted Islam, but the woman, she doesn't. That marriage is okay. Naam. Their marriage is to be maintained, as Muslim man is originally allowed to marry a Christian or a Jewish woman. So it is valid, with greater reason, to maintain her as a wife after the husband's conversion to Islam. Now sometimes some people, they have no understanding. When the brother get married, say, get rid of her. And then he will go and say to her, pack your stuff and get out of here. I'm a Muslim now. I don't want to see you. She's like, what Islam is this? What Islam is this? Because people are ignorant and they give fatwa with no knowledge. وَلَيَادُ بِاللَّهِ. وإن أسلمت كافرة تحت كافر قبل الدخول بطل النكاح لقوله تعالى فلا ترجعوهن إلى الكفار لا هن حل لهم ولا هم يحلون لهن سورة الممتحنة وليس لها شيء من المهر لمجيء الفرقة من قبلها. On the other hand, if a disbelieving woman converts to Islam, she becomes a Muslim while being married to a disbeliever and before the consummation of the marriage. She was a non-Muslim. She married a non-Muslim. She became Muslim before the consummation of the marriage. Their marriage is invalidated by her becoming a Muslim. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Mumtahina verse 10, then do not return them, meaning those women who became Muslim, do not return them to the disbelievers. They are not lawful wives for them, nor are they lawful husbands for them. Accordingly, the woman in this case does not have the right to claim her dowry, as the rescindment of marriage is on her part. Is on her part. وإن أسلم زوج غير كتابية قبل الدخول بطل النكاح لقوله تعالى ولا تمسكوا بعصم الكوافر وعليه نصف المهر لمجيء الفرقة من قبله. Now in the case the man has to similarly, if a husband of a disbelieving woman who is neither a Christian nor a Jew, the woman, she's not a Jew or a Christian, converts, but the man converts to Islam before the consummation of the marriage, their marriage is invalidated. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and hold not to marriage bound with disbelieving women. They are not from the people of the book. In this case, the man has to pay her half of the dowry, as the rescindment of marriage is on his part. He cannot be with a woman, atheist or Buddhist, like that. Because it's not permissible for a man to marry those women. وإن أسلم أحد الزوجين غير الكتابيين أو أسلمت كافرة تحت كافر بعد الدخول وقف الأمر على انقضاء العدة فإن أسلم الآخر فيها يعني في العدة دام النكاح وإن لم يسلم فيها تبين أن النكاح قد انفسخ منذ أسلم الأول. In this connection, if one of the two disbelieving spouses who are neither Christian nor Jews, both of them, become Muslim, or if a disbelieving woman became Muslim after the consummation of her marriage to a disbeliever, it doesn't matter who he is. The matter becomes dependent on the wife's waiting period, the iddah. In other words, if one of them converts to Islam during the wife's waiting period, their marriage is to be maintained as valid. However, if the other spouse does not convert to Islam during that period, their marriage is deemed invalid since one spouse has converted to Islam. Because remember, in both ways, the woman, the Muslim woman, if she becomes Muslim, it's not permissible for her to stay under a non-Muslim. Doesn't matter if he from the people of the book or not. But for the Muslim man, if he becomes a Muslim, then he can keep his wife that he has married prior to Islam, if she is a Jew or a Christian. But if she is not Jew or Christian, he cannot keep her if she doesn't become a Muslim. No. ومن أسلم وتحته أكثر من 4 وأسلمنا أو كن كتابيات اختار منهن 4 لأن قيس بن الحارث أسلم وتحته 8 نسوة فقال له النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم اختر منهن 4 وقاله أيضا لغيره والله أعلم. And we conclude this with this note. The Shaykh says, in addition, he who accepts Islam, if a man accepts Islam while having more than 4 wives, who have accepted Islam too, or who are Christian or Jews, a man have more than 4, 6, 7, 8, and let's say all of them accept Islam, or 4 of them accept Islam and the other 4 they are Jews or Christian, they still upon their aqidah, they from the people of the book. What to be done in this case? That man who became Muslim has to choose only 4 of them to keep as wives. If he has 7, he has to choose 4. This is based on the fact that when Qais ibn al-Harith radiallahu anhu accepted Islam while having 8 wives, this man, he has 8 wives when he became a Muslim. The Prophet ﷺ said to him, choose 4 wives to keep of them. Choose 4 of them to keep. So that's the maximum a man can have. at one time. This doesn't mean if a man marries 4 times, that's it. No, a man can marry more, 40 or 10 or 20. But of course, if he married, this one died and he married another one, divorced this one, married another one. But a person should do what is pleasing to Allah. This doesn't mean like, okay, 40, Allahu Akbar, I marry every 3 months, marry another woman. That's like 12 in a year. A'udhu billah. What math is this? What sickness is this? A person should have good intentions with marriage. No play. We don't have the mut'ah like the Shia al-Rawafid they do. They marry for 10 days or 2 hours and that's it. Naam, they're... watch out, he's putting it in his ear. Like even their mullah, these big shot guys, they say, yes, it's okay. Mut'ah. You can marry a woman for a couple of hours. It's okay. It's halal in their religion, the Shia al-Rawafid. But when some of them, they come to him, to that big shot guy, their big sheikh, he said, okay, your daughter, can we just like marry her for a couple hours? He get mad. It's okay for other people's daughters, but not his daughter. Na'udhu billahi min hada ad-dalal al-mubin. Mut'ah is haram in Islam. Okay? Similarly, it says the Prophet ﷺ said the same to others on similar occasions, and Allah knows best. And with this we come to an end in this class and this chapter. The next chapter will be about the sadaq, the dowry. هذا وصلى الله وسلم على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا.